Today I'm going to be presenting Starbucks strategy concerning PESTLE analysis, 5 forces analysis, and SWOT analysis. So to start off, PESTLE analysis is a strategic analysis tool is often seen as the most effective analytical tools to analyze the impacts of external issues. As for political factors, it receives government intervention. And this part of the PESTLE analysis framework identifies the impact of government on business. Starbucks experiences the following political external factor in its remote or macro environment. It means regional integration of markets, opportunity, improving governmental support for infrastructure, opportunity again, and bureaucratic red tape in developing countries, which is considered as a threat, obviously. And as for regional integration is a current trend and external factor that presents an opportunity for Starbucks to globally expand. Also, most governments around the world are improving infrastructure, which creates the opportunity for Starbucks to access more markets or suppliers. However, bureaucratic red tape persists in most countries. This external factor is a threat because it makes business expansion more difficult for Starbucks, especially in developing countries. This aspect of PESTLE analysis model presents mostly opportunities for Starbucks coffee. This component of the PESTLE analysis model refers to the economic condition and changes significant to business. Starbucks faces the following economic external factor in its remote or macro environment. First one is high growth of developing countries, declining unemployment rate, and rising labor costs in suppliers, making it for Starbucks to produce more coffee for its consumers. The high economic growth of developing countries and the declining unemployment rate create opportunities for Starbucks to gain more revenues from various markets around the world. However, the rising labor costs in developing countries is an external factor that threatens Starbucks because increases the company's spending for ingredients. The firm sources much of its coffee beans from developing countries. This part of the PESTLE analysis model presents mostly opportunities for Starbucks coffee. This aspect of PESTLE analysis framework shows the social condition and trends influencing consumers and business. Starbucks must address the following social-cultural external factor in its remote or macro environment. The first one is growing coffee culture, which is considered as an opportunity, increasing health consciousness, and growing middle class, more money. Starbucks has opportunity to increase its revenues based on increasing demand for specialty coffee, which is due to a growing coffee culture and a growing middle class around the world. Also, company has the opportunity to widen its array for more healthful products to attract conscious consumers to Starbucks cafes. All identified external factors in this component of the PESTLE analysis model present opportunities for Starbucks coffee. And in this part, it's related to technologies and how is it identified. And the first one is rising mobile purchase opportunity, which is very trendy nowadays. Technology transfers to coffee farmers. Rising availability of specialty coffee machines for home use, which is a threat because it refrains consumers or customers from going to the physical store. Starbucks has the opportunity to improve its mobile apps and linked services to gain more revenues through mobile purchases. The company also has the opportunity to improve its supply chain efficiency based on new technologies coffee farmer use. However, the rising availability of home use specialty coffee machines is a threat to Starbucks because it increases the availability of substitute to Starbucks coffee, which means more competition. This aspect of the PESTLE analysis framework presents mostly opportunities for Starbucks once again. The legal factors in PESTLE analysis model are the laws and regulation on business. Starbucks must address the following legal external factor in its remote microenvironment. First one is product safety regulations, and the second one is GMO regulation outside the United States, and lastly, increasing employment regulation. Starbucks has an opportunity to improve its performance by satisfying product safety regulation and regulation on ingredients from genetically modified organisms, also known as GMOs. Starbucks is already performing well in these aspects. However, increasing employment regulation, especially in developing countries, threatens Starbucks coffee access to the labor market. This external factor also impacts Starbucks to increase spending for human resources. In this aspect of PESTLE analysis model, the identified external factor present mostly opportunities for Starbucks coffee. This component of the PESTLE analysis model identifies the effects of ecological or environmental conditions and changes on business. Starbucks faces the following ecological, environmental, external factor in its remote or macro environment: business sustainability, growing popular support for responsible sourcing, which is Starbucks is famous for doing, and growing popular support for environmentally friendly products, which is also Starbucks is famous for doing. The business sustainability trend focuses on business processes that ensure minimal environmental impact. In relation, responsible sourcing emphasizes corporate social responsibility in the supply chain. Starbucks has opportunities to enhance its performance in these areas. Note that the company already has responsible sourcing policies. Starbucks also has the opportunity to offer more of its products in recyclable packaging. In this part of the PESTLE analysis model, Starbucks coffee has major opportunities. The PESTLE analysis shows that all of the external factors in Starbucks coffee remote microenvironment present opportunities. However, the company must work to address the identified threats, especially the threat of substitution linked to the increased availability of home-use specialty coffee machines. On the other hand, Starbucks cannot do much but to avoid the threat of bureaucratic red tape. Overall, the PESTLE analysis framework indicates that Starbucks coffee has plenty of room for global growth as long as they tapped into their potential and make good use of the potential. Okay, next. Five Porter's five forces. According to Michael Porter, competitive rivalry is maximized where the threat of new entrants, substitutes, power of buyers, and powers of suppliers are all low, a theory known as Porter's five forces. Using this theory as a basis, it is important for us to understand whether the Starbucks corporate brand impacts these four forces. As you can see, the four threats are threat of new entrants, power of buyers, threat of substitutes, and power of suppliers, which makes a competitive rivalry and can be used as a competitive advantage to other competitors. Okay, threat of new entrants. Starbucks brand image is very strong. CEO Howard Schultz has emotionally positioned Starbucks as a third place in its customers' minds alongside home and work to make Starbucks a part of their routine. This is a possibility the challenge for Starbucks due to UK bars choice in coffee shops. Furthermore, with the difficulty of patenting coffee products, successful innovations such as the Frappuccino are subjected to products as admitted by Costa to give customers what they are demanding, which gives the power to the buyers, and they have more power to choose whatever they want. And for Starbucks to capture the minds of their buyers, they need to come up with new trends and new inventions to get consumers buying the product constantly and consistently. And for the power supplies, with 20,891 global stores, almost double that of the second biggest coffee house chain, Dunkin' Donuts, which is approximately 10,000 stores, Starbucks is able to take advantage of its size and benefit of economies of scale. In addition, suppliers are willing to offer more favorable terms simply to be associated with Starbucks in order to promote approval of the world's largest coffee house brand. Nowadays, um, the use of technology is very famous, and whenever you go to these social media sites, you can see celebrities drinking coffee branded by Starbucks, and obviously, uh, the daily consumer would see that and would see Starbucks as a good brand just because a celebrity is using or drinking its products, and as a way most consumers are buying Starbucks for the brand name not for the product itself. It comes off as a second nature, basically. So, moving on, the threat of substitutes. Starbucks is well aware of potential threats from sandwich bars and other food retailers developing their own coffee offering and has responded by expanding its food products portfolios. Consequently, food now accounts for 19% of total revenue. Um, One of their major competitor in Hong Kong mainly is Pacific Coffee. They also serve coffee. Alongside coffee, they also serve food, sandwiches, and etc. And moving on, competitive rivalry. To conclude, it's clear from the above explanation that Starbucks brand does offer the company significantly enhanced competitive rivalry through its contribution to the reduction of all four threats. Moving on, SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis of Starbucks differentiates all the main strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats that give guidance to the company to grow to a better position. Strong brand image. Like I said, strong brand image. When you have a strong brand image, consumers would often pay for your just for the brand itself, and it doesn't matter how much it costs. Starbucks Corporation stands the brand by itself. It is the most common and toughest brand in the food and beverage industry. The company size, number of customers who are loyal to the brand, number of outlets keep growing over a period. It has a strong brand value and its coffee is much liked by all. Strong financial situation. Starbucks has a strong place in its finance. With respect to financial market, it has a strong stand on it. During the year 2019, Starbucks has seen annual revenue of 26.5 billion and a profit of about 3.6 billion. This is a huge strength for the brand. It does highlight its performance. Starbucks coffee is strong and it has many factors behind it. It has excellent international growth. Its quality altogether has made Starbucks sustain its growth. Starbucks outlets. The company has seen an enormous increase in outlets all over the world. Currently, it has about 31,256 outlets across the world. An increase in stores leads to more revenue, and thereby Starbucks has more customers to depend on their business. International supply chain. Starbucks has an extensive international network of suppliers. It has a proper process of its supply chain that takes care of supplying its raw materials. Timely delivery and enough raw materials at all outlets have made Starbucks serve its customers to a large extent. Starbucks sources its coffee beans from the three main regions, where coffee is produced largely. The regions are Africa, Latin America, and the Asia Pacific. Acquisitions. Starbucks has gained a lot of business by acquiring the top six companies. Its acquisition with them has led to enhancing its business to a great level. The companies were acquired by Starbucks are Tivano, Seattle's Best Coffee, Torrefazione Italia Coffee, Evolution Fresh, Tezo, and Ito's Water. Due to the acquisition of these top companies, Starbucks has proved itself to be very, very successful. Reasonable expansion. Okay, Starbucks business operations have been expanded with the introduction of various food items and goods. Its expansions have led to more likes by customers and kept using their products to a large extent. One example of its innovation in its products are the ice cube prepared from coffee, which is when added to coffee results in strong flavor of coffee, good for strong coffee lovers. Okay, for Starbucks coffee taste, quality and standardization. Starbucks has expanded its operation and created its brand due to its finest blends and delightful coffees. Its coffees are of great quality and is a constantly standardized product in whichever location you take it from. The process of blending the coffee is done with the utmost care and gives a unique taste to its coffee. Starbucks strategic planning, efficiency, and reinvestment Sorry, strategy. Starbucks invests its profit again to expand its business to many other locations. It includes news outlets in many locations that would also increase its brand. The company's operations are efficient and well planned in many strategic decisions. This has led to many advantages for the brand. Employee treatment. Starbucks provides a good treatment for its employees, which would be reflected satisf- employee satisfaction. When an employees are satisfied, then they serve customer well. This would arrive at customer satisfaction. Starbucks has been listed in the Fortune magazine in the top 100 list as the best place to work and rated high in employee satisfaction. This is a huge strength for the brand. Being able to manage your employee and being able to provide good employee satisfaction leads to better service, stellar service for the customers. And when you have a good customer service, customer would often come back, not for the coffee but for the employees itself. So moving on, restroom for gender neutral. Starbucks has presented restrooms for gender neutral to protect them against discrimination. This is yet again another strength of the brand. Excellent business model. Has an excellent business model that is quite stable, leading the company to profit. During the past years, the brand had undergone some restructuring that had seen some update in its product offerings. The main business model is its premium coffee experience and its unique culture that makes the brand and its business a unique one. Okay, thank you for listening to Starbucks strategy, PESTLE analysis, 5 force analysis, SWOT analysis. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.